What's up, guys? Conscious Gaming here, and today we are going to be reviewing Dragon Ball Super Broly. Now, the one question everyone's asking is, does this movie live up to the hype? And I am here to tell you right now that this movie does live up to the hype. At least for me, it did. This movie was an amazing visual spectacle. Like, I don't even know where to start, but before I get into today's review, be sure to like, share, and subscribe if you're brand new. Leave a comment down below if you have any questions, or let me know what you guys thought if you've already seen the movie. But without further ado, let's get into it. Now, the beginning of this movie, it was really good. It told a great story, but I felt like it was kind of rushed a little bit. I feel like they could have put more time and effort into the beginning, but overall, it was still really good. I really liked how before they told the story of these three Saiyans, Goku, Vegeta, and Broly, it tells a short story about their fathers and how each of them cared for their sons in their own way before they were sent off the planet. And that was really interesting to see. And also, I thought it was really cool to see how, Planet Vegeta's Saiyan society worked and how the Frieza army interacted with them and how they took over and everything, and it showed how Frieza finally became the Emperor of the Universe, taking over for his father King Cold with the Saiyans and stuff. It was really interesting to see that. It was really cool to see Goku's mom, Gine, and Bardock and how they interacted with Goku as a baby. And Bardock, he's a likable character in this movie. Bardock's really likable, but in my honest opinion, I honestly prefer the Bardock from the old movie, Father of Goku, just because he was such a badass. He rebelled against Frieza almost the entire movie, and he was beating up all these Frieza soldiers, getting stronger, and then he faces Frieza and talks all this shit to him in his final moments, and it was a pretty dope movie. Bardock in that movie was badass, but this Bardock, he's likable and he has his moments, even if they're really short ones, but he was all right in this movie. Paragus, even though a lot of people are gonna dislike Paragus in this movie, but you can see where he's coming from by his motives in this movie because of what King Vegeta did to him. Like the things that King Vegeta does in this movie, it's pretty messed up, but yeah, and it shows Goku and Vegeta and Broly as kids, and how they came up. It shows how all three of their stories are connected, even way into the future when they have their confrontation later on in the movie. And I thought that was really cool to see. So if you came to watch this movie just for amazing fights alone, this movie definitely delivers that. But it also tells an amazing story too. So if you're looking for action, lore, and storytelling, this movie has all of that in one, which was really good. This is honestly, BoJack Unbound was my favorite Dragon Ball movie, and after I watched this movie yesterday, this takes its place as number one. I know you guys think that's weird, BoJack Unbound, like why, I don't know. I just really like that movie because it focuses on Gohan. But anyway, as for the visuals in this movie, they were amazing. They were phenomenal. Every scene was well drawn, well animated. You could tell they went all out for this movie. All the fight scenes were especially well animated, but there were some moments with a lot of CGI in some scenes, and it made the fighting a lot smoother, which I liked, but some of the scenes just looked like cutscenes from Dragon Ball Fighters some of the time, and you know, but it was still pretty cool to watch. As for the characters introduced, it was really cool to see how many new characters were introduced in this story. I really love what they did with Broly's character. Like, he's not that savage Saiyan tank who just punched everything in its path from the old movies and who hated Goku for crying as a baby. This Broly that we were given was amazing. His backstory and the way they brought him up as a character, his character development throughout the movie just made him so likable that at some points in the movie I was rooting for Broly, and I'm like, wait, no, I gotta root for Goku and Vegeta, but Broly, seeing his childhood and how sad it was, it gives all the audience that sense of connection with Broly and makes them empathize with him actually. Like wow, like Broly done went through some stuff. I mean, Vegeta, he had a pretty bad childhood too, but I mean, everyone, they all had a bad childhood except for Goku. Goku's the only one who got lucky. But Broly not only had a bunch of character development, but Goku and Vegeta too, but mainly Goku. Goku, this is the first time I've ever seen Goku have any sense of character development because he's that idiot who loves to fight and push himself to get stronger. And in this movie, like, he's still the same in this movie, but he changes a little after his interactions with Broly, and it was really cool. Everyone in the theater was just like, "Oh, this is awesome," like when like Goku does this. But I'm not gonna spoil anything. But yeah, I thought that was really cool, and yeah, the voice acting in this movie and the soundtracks in every scene, you could tell the voice actors just gave it their all for this movie. Sean Schimmel, Chris Sabat, like they gave it their all. It was funny. The way they delivered comedy in the scenes, that was really cool. It was funny. I loved that. And when they're fighting and their war cries, it was just awesome. And speaking of war cries, hearing Broly, watching him fight and hearing his battle cries, like it really gave me that sense of nostalgia from all the old Broly movies, and they stay true to that character's element of just being a tanky, person who gets pissed off easily and just destroys everything in sight. Like I loved how they did that with Broly in this movie. Like Vic Mignogna, I'm sorry if I butchered his name, but he did an amazing job as Broly. He came back after all these years and he delivered. And while we're on characters, Frieza in this movie was amazing. Christopher Aries he did it again. Frieza was just a bastard in this movie, but he was also funny and delivered some comical moments too, which was really cool. I mean, I have a few problems with this movie, but I'm gonna do another video on that with, a lot of problems I had in this movie that really bothered me, but because nothing's perfect, it has its flaws, even though I love this movie 100%. This is my favorite Dragon Ball movie. And this movie delivers something that no Dragon Ball movie has ever delivered before, which makes this movie stand out from the rest of them. The fight scenes in this movie, I mean, we've seen the trailers with Gogeta fighting Broly. All I have to say is that this fight is, like, you have to see this in the theater. This fight is, I can't even describe it. It was like an acid trip, pretty much. This fight was probably one of the best fights I've seen in Dragon Ball in a very, very long time. It's probably one of my favorite fights now. Gogeta versus Broly. This fight will not disappoint. It is crazy. And how I know it was crazy is because everyone in the theater had the same reaction as me. We were cheering sometimes, but the whole time everyone's eyes were just glued to the screen. We were just in it. Like, this fight was so intense. It was awesome to see. But other than that, overall this movie was great. I loved it. I would give this movie a high 9 out of 10. A very, very high 9 out of 10. Like a 9.9999 out of 10. That's how much I love this movie. And should you see it in theaters? Yes, you really need to see this in theaters because the visuals, the soundtrack, the fighting, it's like no other. The story is really good and doesn't lack in consistency. It's just, and it's fun. It's a really fun movie to see. It's awesome. Me and my friends even stayed in the theater a second time to watch it. That's how amazing this movie was. So go see it in theaters. It is awesome. If you've already seen the movie, let me know what you thought about it in the comment section below. Or leave a comment down below to let me know if you are planning to go see it. And let me know what you thought about it. Until the next video, I'll see you guys. That is